Hey everyone, this is Frank at Musicbox Custom Guitars. I'm going to show you a model I get a lot of questions about. This is actually an amp, Jimmy Wigle, Motorcity Ampworks had. He had designed this when he was working on ACDC. I think, I'm not sure what album he had worked on the album with, but this was based off of Malcolm's head. Malcolm likes KT66 tubes. So this is actually one that Jimmy had kind of mocked up for a trade show. All copper, everything. The chassis, transformers have been coppered. Also the plugs for the, or the covers for the 12AX7s. Again, KT66 Power tubes. Metal front as well. Plexiglass front as far as the shielding here. And I'm going to run through it real quick and give you some ideas of some tones. Hold on here. This head is really straight up, pretty classic vintage Marshall tones, really, but some really cool tones that you don't hear anymore. The mid-range is very musical. It never gets harsh, never gets brittle. And you have some really simple functions here. You have your master volume, bass, mid-range, treble. This is your gain for the treble side and gain for the loudness. And they actually do make a difference in this amp. You also have a pull bright switch, which is very bright, which is something I think Malcolm really likes. This I'll show you, I think, is a smoother version without having to actually use that extra bright control. Now this particular tone, straight up, to me, I look at it like you really were in a venue where you could really push the volume. This would sound really cool because the preamp section is very musical right now. Slight breakup, not a lot. In fact, I could bring these up to 10, and you can hear that. A natural breakup just from pushing the gain and using your master volume as your overall volume control. Now, in these particular settings, I'm going to kind of give you an idea of how the mid-range works. But before we do that, I'm going to show you that there are pull functions on your gain side that actually do give you more saturation simply by pulling them out. Bring it down a little bit. And you get another gain feature here. To me, that's a very very desired gain, more natural than say the Perplexing 50. Perplexing 50 has more saturation, I think. This has a little more organic feeling. But the cool thing about it is you can do a couple things here. You can actually, just by backing off the gain on the treble side, get more of, to me, that brighter, barky, more Michael Schenker thing. You know, I mean, where it's actually got a really cool, nice mid-range, and still stays musical. Almost, I mean, especially for the rhythm tones or neck tones. Very cool, old Schenker kind of a deal. I really like it. And the mid-range isn't harsh, and I'm pushing it at about 7 or 8. And again, not a lot of saturation, but a very musical tone. And the mid-range is usable too. I can bring it down, scoop it a bit. Now we're kind of getting to that Malcolm thing, you know what I mean? again, not a lot of saturation, very cool balance on how much gain you're getting, and again, you can still use that mid-range in any way you want to. And it never barks, never gets harsh, and it's a very cool. Almost like... If you want to add a little bit more meat to your drum, or a little more saturation, just push the gain 1 a little bit more. Now all of a sudden... Again, really a great amp. I'm playing the Motorcity Ampworks head through a 412 white box with private jack 50 watt speakers. Really good combination, man. If you guys are looking for just a straight, very cool 70s ZZ Top, you know, UFO type of a tone, this gets it and nails it on the dime. Any more questions, feel free to contact me. You can reach me at 805-379-1826, 3041 East Thousand Oaks Boulevard in Thousand Oaks, California. Again, this is Frank with the Musicbox Custom Guitars. These actually retail about $2,200. This one actually is a one-of-a-kind. So even if you like the design, we can build one for you without having to do all the coppering to the actual head itself. And the KT66 tubes really do make it very musical. I think you'd be surprised. Again, thanks again, Frank at Musicbox Custom Guitars.